Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you stopping in. We're back down here in the garage tonight working on the Sawmill. I've got some things mocked up. My band wheels kind of mocked up with the bearings, engine mocked up, and I actually also got the blade temporaried on there just to make sure everything was going to work out and fit the way it's supposed to. But in this video we're going to work on the power assist head lift and also some of the mounts for the bearings, motor mounts, and a battery mount. Let me bring you around here and show you kind of what we've got here on the front that I've got mocked up. Like I said, I just wanted to make sure that my clearances were going to work out, the blade length was going to work out, and try to get an idea of where I'm going to mount these plates that hold my bearings. So you can kind of see it's starting to look like a sawmill. I got a few more pieces and parts mocked up here. But yeah, like I said, tonight I'm going to work on my power lift assist and getting this head moving up and down with a winch, hopefully. But that's the plan for this evening. So I hope you stick around. Let's get to the build. So let's go over what I've got here on my lift mechanism. I took a piece of 1-inch cold rolled steel, and I've put 1-inch flange bearings on the end on each side that's attached to the frame. And then I've took these garage door rollers that have the sleeve for the cable. I'm gonna put them on here on the end of the shaft, snug them down, one on each side. And then from there, I'm gonna have cables go up here to my rollers at the top of the carriage. And then from there, down here to the pieces of angle that I put here on each side. And then my connection points, I've got some eye bolts here that I'm gonna use here in my angle iron. And I got them a little bit longer, that way I've got some adjustment. And I'll make the connections with these clips here. And then what I'm using for cables, I actually got this off Amazon. These are just 8'6" garage door cables. They're pre-made, so everything's there, really simple. And honestly, it was cheaper for me to buy this kit than it would have been to go to the hardware store and just buy the cable and put the ends on it. So I went this direction. Everything's already made up and should work great. And like the last video, I'll put links in the description for all of the components and the pieces and parts that I'm using. Well, it moves up and down. I just got this vice grip on the shaft there and turn it just a little bit. I mean, it's not too bad with no more leverage than I have here on the vice grips. But I had to do a little bit of adjustment to make sure that it was coming up even. I had a little bit more tension over here on the right hand side. So I had to take up some of the slack over here on the left, and once I did that, it seemed to really help it and freed it up. So, pretty pleased with that. Of course, you know, once I get the engine on there and the pulleys and the bearings and all that plate, I mean, it's going to add a lot of weight. So that will definitely tell the tale once we get that on there. But for right now, like I said, just the vice grips here. It's moving it up and down. So far so good. So here's my setup on my up-down control. I'm going to mount my winch. Welded this piece of 3/4 inch angle here to support my winch, good flat surface. And then I took these round plates that I got at the scrapyard. They're CNC'd out. They're just blanks that I guess a tooling company probably scrapped or something. And then I took this piece of pipe that fits pretty close to the 1-inch shaft. And what I'm going to do is put these two together and make a spool for my cable to go in. And then my winch will mount right here, basically in line with that. Run the cable out, put probably half and half of my cable, leave half on the winch, put the other half on the spool. And then the up-down controls with the winch will turn my spool, and then we'll, in turn, turn my rollers. That's my plan. We're going to get it all welded up here, put the cable on it, and see if it will lift it, see how it functions. And hopefully it works out like it's supposed to, but we'll see. So I had a little bit of a design flaw here on my winch for my up and down mechanism. And what I'm running into, the winch has plenty of power to get the head up and down. But what I'm running into is when the winch torques to go up or down, I'm actually pulling this shaft in. I'll show you what I'm talking about right here. You can see it when I release it, how it goes back. Even when I'm going down. So I've got a weak point right here in the middle of this shaft. And what I'm going to do to remedy it, I've got some of these 1-inch pillow block bearings that I'm going to put here in the middle of the shaft, and then build me some brackets right here on either side of the winch to support these pillow block bearings. So no matter what I do with this, I need to get some support on this shaft because there's a lot of weight on the head of that. And I haven't even got everything on there yet. You know, there'll be blade guards, another wheel, different things, water for lubrication. So there's gonna be a lot of weight on the head of that thing, and it's just gonna stress this even more. And of course the winch is powerful enough, it's gonna pull it regardless, but I'm afraid what's gonna happen is I'm gonna weaken something here in this shaft and the pulleys and break something. So I need to stiffen this up really good and make sure I don't have any play or movement, and it'll also help me to set my height when I go to adjust it. Let's see what we can do. So here's what I've came up with so far. I'm gonna take these plates here that I cut out, and they're gonna sit right down here, weld to this plate, my 2x3 box tubing here. And then on top of that, once I get that angle together there and welded, I'm gonna take these 3/16 plates right here under the bottom of the pillow block bearing, and then that will set kind of like so and make an angle bracket for those pillow blocks to sit on. So let's get those bolted up and tacked on there, and I think that's going to support this a whole lot better. So here's a look at my brackets. I've just got them tacked in there right now, but I believe it is going to work out perfect. Got them in there and mounted and gave it a try, and it's much, much more stable. There's hardly any play in it at all. And I made me some marks over here on the side just to kind of gauge how it would be. And it's not horrible. I mean, I can't get it like just extra precise, but I'm within, you know, it creeps a little bit. I mean, for the most part, it's pretty good. It's just gonna take some playing with and trying to get used to that. But I think for now I'm going to leave the winch on here and run it that way and just kind of trial it out and see how it goes. So we had an old 0-turn lawnmower over in the barn that one of the pumps had went out of, and we decided we weren't going to fix it. And I took this piece off right here that used to cover the pulleys for the deck where you put your feet. And lo and behold, it's going to work out perfect for a battery box. That deep cycle battery fits in there perfect. So I'll cut this off right here, and then I believe what I'm thinking, I'm going to weld it down here on the side of the bottom rail to keep it low, and that way everything can be right here close to my control box, and everything be close by to the battery. But I thought that was pretty cool. That couldn't have worked out any better, and it'll save me some fabricating. Here's a look how the battery box turned out. Like I said, it saved me fabricating a battery box, and it worked out really well. All right, I think that's going to do it for this video. I appreciate you sticking around. Hope this has been helpful to you. And looking forward to getting this thing together and getting some wood milled on it. But don't want to rush it. I want to make sure everything's done right and get it painted up. Make sure everything's going to track and be true like it's supposed to be. And then hopefully it'll give me years of good service down the road. So I appreciate you being here, and I hope to catch you on the next one. We'll see you.